Tennessee Titans fans need to accept the reality that we don't know if Cam Ward is the franchise quarterback we've been waiting on. Wake up, Titans fans. It's time for the Sleeper Titans podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Rowland, 27 years a Tennessee Titans fanatic, cover the team for Sports Illustrated, USA Today, host of Locked On Titans. You can find me on any social media account that you want, but we need to talk about what we know and what we don't know about the Tennessee Titans right now. The things that we simply do not know. And whether or not you want to admit it, it's on you. It's up to you. You can live in whatever reality that you want to. That's your choice as a human being on the planet. But there is no way in the world that we can say with any certainty that Cam Ward is the answer as the franchise quarterback. We just don't know right now. He didn't come out in year two in the new system with new coaching, and he hasn't set the world on fire like, oh, okay, he's getting it. Now, look, that doesn't mean that he's not going to be that. Not having the answer right now through the first season and 2 preseason games, that doesn't mean that we do have an answer. It means literally that we do not have an answer. We do not know right now. Now, some will tell you that they do know for certain he's going to be the answer at quarterback. Some will just try to hype themselves up. And I think I am part of the people who, I want to believe in Cam Ward. I am a fan of this team. I think far too often people look at me and think my motivations are media related in this topic and this headline. And yeah, I think about how many clicks I'm going to get and how many views I'm going to get. That's how I pay my bills, is how many views and clicks. And that's how media works. Newspapers, it's how many newspapers you sell. McDonald's, it's how many burgers you sell. So yeah, they're going to put out commercials. It's like saying to McDonald's when they put a commercial on TV, oh, they're just trying to sell burgers. Well, duh. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to get clicks and things like that. But I am just a Titans fan. I want to have a franchise quarterback. I want to have an elite wide receiver. I want to have a good team that wins games and has a consistent run and is considered a Super Bowl contender and a good coach who I believe in, who I trust. I want those things. Negativity sells. I would rather be positive. I would rather lose some views because the Titans are good. I want that. So I wish that I could get up here and tell you that I know that Cam Ward is the answer at quarterback, but we don't know. And the only reality that I am stating right now is he has not done anything so far this offseason, preseason, whatever, training camp. He has done nothing so far to make me feel more confident that he's the guy. I have some confidence in Cam Ward coming out of year one that he can be the guy. I'm 70% confident in Cam Ward. I'm just arbitrarily making up a number right now. I'm 70% confident. Well, I would say that it would be fair that after these last 2 preseason games, I'm 65, 60% confident. It has eliminated a little bit of confidence, but some people act like it's taken that confidence all the way to 0. And that's not true either. But the point that I'm making is, through the first couple of weeks of the preseason, through training camp to this point, we do not know that Cam Ward is the answer at quarterback. And quite frankly, to keep that going, we do not know that Carnell Tate is going to be a true number 1 alpha wide receiver. I have maintained my position. I do not believe that he is. I don't. I don't think that Carnell Tate is good enough to be a true number 1 wide. I don't think that Carnell Tate is as good as T. Higgins is. I don't think that Carnell Tate is as good as Cortland Sutton. I don't think Carnell Tate is as good as Nico Collins, Drake London. I don't think that Carnell Tate is as good as Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. I don't think that he's on that level. To me, he's in the Alec Pierce realm of wide receivers. He's going to be 25 to 35, 25 to 40, somewhere in there. Hopefully. But so far in the preseason, he has done nothing so far to show that he's ready to be an alpha wide receiver. And as the number 4 pick in the draft, I just think that you do need to be that. You do need to be that. And he has shown that he's not that. So, yet. obviously. So we just can't know right now. I was hoping that we would get some evidence of that being the case. We have not. 5 targets, 0 catches. And now a couple of those are on Cam Ward, but he's had some drops too. So there's no way to know right now that Cam Ward or Carnell Tate is going to be good enough for the role that they've been placed in. There's just no way to know that. I would tell you also there's no way to know that this offensive line is going to be good at pass blocking. I don't know. I don't know. J.C. Latham will be better in run blocking this year. I believe that. Fernando Carmona is going to be a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. But I don't know if either of them are going to be good pass blockers. And Pete is fine, but we know Dan Moore is up and down. And Schlottman gave up some pressures. When the interior defensive line is going to be real good to the other team, Schlottman's going to be a liability, and they're going to have to give him a lot of help from the guards. So I think the offensive line will be improved, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I just don't know if they're going to be better in pass blocking. I think the improvement might truly be in the run game, not in the passing game. I'll also tell you, I don't know if the secondary is going to figure it out. Maybe they do. Robert Saleh's scheme is hard to learn. There's a lot of rules, complex system. Takes some time to learn those rules, gel together. We saw the blown coverage. That tells you, there was confusion with how to handle the motion and all of that. But I'm skeptical of the talent in the secondary. I think Kevin Winston's real good, but he's a young player who has trouble with route recognition already. So what is going to be the struggle with the secondary is the biggest problem on Kevin Winston's scouting report anyway. So it might take him extra long to feel comfortable. So the Titans' most talented player in the secondary might have the biggest learning curve mentally. And then Alontae Taylor. I think he might be solid, but $20 million a year. Cordell Flott already struggling big time. Marcus Harris, I had my questions. I've been saying my first video on this channel, the first video ever on this channel, was the Titans need to go sign Kenny Moore. Because I don't know if I trust a 6th-round rookie from last year and Marcus Harris to be the full-time slot. And now they're using Tony Adams there as the big nickel. All right. That could be somewhat of an answer, but Tony Adams got roasted on the very first play in pass coverage, and I think he committed a penalty. And then Amani Hooker has just been awful. And we know the Titans have no depth in the secondary. So we could talk about learning the scheme all we want, but even if these guys knew the scheme perfectly, do they have the talent to be a really, really good secondary? I don't think so. So I don't know if the secondary is ever going to figure it out. We can act like that, but I don't know. And I don't know that the defense overall will be great. I don't know that the D-line will be great. I think the D-line could be good. 10 to 15 NFL ranking. Somewhere in there is a D-line unit. But we know that JFM and Jeffrey Simmons are good, but the edges are, the Titans have a bottom 5 edge group. Jermaine Johnson is their best edge rusher. Jacob Martin is their second starter. Keldrick Falk and Femi Oladipo are raw rookies. That's a bottom 5 edge group in the NFL. So if the edges are bottom 5 and the interior defensive line is top 10, you probably have an average defense overall there. So I don't know that the defense is going to be great when I thought it had the potential to going into training camp. I don't even know that the D-line is going to be great like we thought initially. I have more reservations on that than ever before. Now, those are the things that I don't know. But here are some things that I do know. The offensive line is going to be better than expected. I believe that. This Titans offensive line will be better than what we were expecting a couple of months ago when we were throwing our hands in the sky about Cordell Volston, Austin Schlottman, when J.C. Latham was missing time early in training camp on the PUP, all of that. Dan Moore was missing some time in the OTAs, mandatory minicamp. I think I remember Dan Moore might have missed. This O-line is going to be better than we expected. They're not going to be great, but they're going to be better than we expected. I truly do believe that. And part of that is they are going to run the ball better. This run game will be way better than last year. The Titans will be closer to top 10 in the NFL in run offense than they will bottom 5. I truly believe that. This offensive line will be able to run the football. They'll have success on the ground. It's the passing game where I'm worried. And speaking of the passing game, Wan'Dale Robinson is going to have 1,000 catches. I do know that. I know the O-line is going to be better than people expect. I know that they're going to run the football better than last year. And I know that Wan'Dale Robinson is going to get 1,000,000 catches on the quick little short stuff, because if Cam Ward can't do that, he's eventually going to get benched. So he has to be able to hit the little layups to Wan'Dale Robinson, the little chain movers, the little keep the drive ahead of schedule plays. If we can't even hit those little baby layups, like, again, this offense has zero chance to operate in any capacity whatsoever. So I know that Wan'Dale Robinson is going to have 90 catches at minimum, like, for sure. I also would tell you on the defensive side of the ball that I know that the D-line will be good. I just said I don't know if they'll be great, but they'll be good. There's no way that the D-line is going to be bad. Even with my concerns about edge, Jermaine Johnson is a good run defender. Femi Adebayo will be physical against the run. Keldrick Folk will be physical against the run. Like, even if the edges are as bad as I think, the D-line will still be good because the defensive tackles are that good. Jeffrey Simmons is the best defensive tackle in the NFL. John Franklin Myers is one of the top 15 interior defensive linemen in the NFL. So I know that the D-line will be good. All right. I don't know that they'll be great, but I know they'll be good. I do think I know that the run defense will be bad, though. I think the Titans will be in the back half of the NFL in run defense. And why? Because Robert Saleh has always been. I mean, there's been like 2 years of his career where he was better than 14th in run defense as a defensive coordinator. He just does not care about the run game, isn't worried about it. He's going to play his wide fronts and let teams have lanes to run the football through. They're susceptible on traps and counters and pin pulls to the outside and all these timing-based runs, and they just don't care. Robert Saleh just doesn't care. He said it himself. I'll give up yards. I don't want to give up points. He doesn't care if you run the football if you aren't able to score touchdowns. So that's the reality that we have to live with. I think early on, I know there's going to be a lot of coverage busts. Just like we saw against Seattle on Sunday night, there's going to be a lot of coverage busts because, again, Robert Saleh's system is difficult to learn. There's a lot of rules. When things change, matchups change, responsibilities change. We saw it with the blown coverage against Seattle. We're going to see a lot of that early in the season. It's going to be some major growing pains for this secondary because this system is unique. They're not used to it. It takes a lot of read and react and understanding and thinking. And I just think it's going to be tough early on. And we know Cody Barton is a liability. Cody Barton is a liability. We know that. And with how great Anthony Hill played in that game, I do not understand how they can keep Cody Barton out there for much longer. Anthony Hill needs to be the starting Mike linebacker next to Cedric Gray. He was incredible in pass coverage. Cody Barton is a step or two slow every single play. Run defense, pass coverage, it doesn't matter. He's just running in combat boots. He's old. It's over. He was a guy who lived on athleticism as a former safety. He's not athletic enough anymore. The time has come. Get Anthony Hill in there this week. Get him some first-team reps on the first-team defense against the Bears in joint practice. We need to see it. We need to know. And then the last thing that I know, the special teams is going to be good. Joey Sly has been money since they threatened him with other kickers trying out. Tommy Townsend is incredible, one of the best punters in the NFL. They rested Chim Dike on special teams because they know that he is a boss. Bones Fossil, his unit, going to be fine. I know that the Tennessee Titans special teams will be good this year. So with that being said, what do you know? What do you not know? Let me know down below whether you agree with me, disagree with me, what your thoughts are. That's going to do it for today's Sleeper Titans podcast. Make sure that you get subscribed. I am your host, Tyler Rowland, and as I tell you every episode, tighten up.